Hey, thanks for watching Slice of SciFi. I'm Noah Richmond.
And I'm Daren Goldsmith.
Actually, though, today we are not really talking about a sci-fi film. What we're talking about is something that we would say would be in a genre that we would expect to be of interest to sci-fi fans. A genre of films such as, say, Seven, what might be some other, Bone Collector.
Shutter Island.
Yeah. Things that, it's really more of a suspense type thriller.
Suspense horror.
Yeah. But the kind of thing that would tend to have appeal to a similar audience. And certainly once we saw the trailers for this movie, oh my goodness. We were absolutely hooked. This was something we could not wait to see. I mean, this definitely had all the hallmarks of being another one of these kind of classics in the making.
Scorsese flick,
Yeah. Well, for me, I was thinking like Fincher. Like
that's fair.
Again, I guess Seven is what really came to mind for me. Like I've been waiting for another film like that just had that kind of momentum and grips you and takes you all the way through and gives you that kind of twist, that reveal at the end. Turned out, I didn't even realize this. It's the same director that did Let the Right One In. Let the Right One In, of course, very stylish film. A lot of atmosphere and pacing, and something that was like a small Scandinavian film that really took the world by storm. Also same director did a film called
Tinker Toy.
Yeah, Tinker Tailor Soldier.
Never saw that one though. Did you?
No, I haven't seen that one either. Anyway, a lot of reasons to have high expectations of this movie. What would you have to say about it, Daren?
Well, like I said, I share the same enthusiasm prior to the movie.
Oh, and apparently the source material, neither of us have read the book, but apparently it's a gripping thriller. Everything we've heard has got a lot of twists and turns, very absorbing, supposed to be a bestseller kind of book.
Yeah. I again, one of these movies that obviously is not sci-fi, but again, we were excited about the film prior to, and I generally like stylistic movies that are like noir, and this had this cool vibe with the Norwegian countryside, and it was like a nice, if anything, a nice snapshot of what Norway is like in the wintertime, obviously very bleak and cold, and to me that was a great foundation for what could be a very suspenseful and thrilling story. And
yeah, I mean the film opens up and you see the landscape, and I immediately wished I had brought like a jacket into the theater. Just looking at it just chilled me. It was, absolutely stunning scenery.
Yeah, I again, like I said, that it's just a perfect backdrop. I think if you watch anything that's suspenseful, that's what you see. This the way everything is framed. It just provides that unsettledly that you get with suspenseful movies. And unfortunately, as the thing starts to take away. I mean, I don't know how first we want to reveal this, but
okay.
I was
so having said all these things, all these elements that really should have led to, and got our expectations up, and really should have led to a staggering viewing experience. This was one of the worst films that I have seen in recent memory, just because it was such a mess. I mean, it was all over the place. There was no pacing whatsoever. It dragged on for an interminable 2 hours, and there were scenes in the present, scenes in the past, but nothing to clue you in that what was in the past and what was in the present. There were entire subplots that were introduced and never resolved. The characters that were completely underdeveloped. But
the thing with this, like a movie like this, it's a serial killer. the baseline is a serial killer, and those are always interesting and have a great payout when it's set up right. And I think what the attempt here was to do these subplots to kind of create this who done it and who may be the killer. And so when done right, you can really feel that suspense grow.
Yeah.
And all we got with this was, and maybe it is because they never finished filming key sequences that would put some of these sub stories together. But yeah, I mean the whole movie is a mess. I mean you have continuity that doesn't exist, and then you have like these Val Kilmers in the movie, and when you first see him, it's one of those, my God, that's Val Kilmer. I mean he looks. I realize he's had some medical problems, but it was almost a distraction. It kind of reminds me of when like Ted Danson was in Saving Private Ryan. You know, I don't remember that. There was a scene where he pops in, you're like, holy crap, that's Ted Danson. It was a distraction to the scene.
Right.
Having said that, it was the same with Val Kilmer. I mean,
the dubbing over his voice doesn't match the lips.
And it was like, and it was also, I don't know if this is true or not, but it was almost, I felt like, okay, now Val Kilmer's acting again, and he is going to, put in a hell of a performance. And it almost felt like he was overacting.
Right.
And so his performance kind of like, it was oddly in its own time and own beat. It just didn't match the tone of the movie. It was almost like a mockery.
Well, say what tone of the movie?
Well, okay. Well, I mean, I think the director in the book itself was really aimed at creating that was, like a Norwegian noir movie.
Yeah.
And kind of had that flavor, and I think it could have been accomplished maybe in a different director's hands. I noticed Martin Scorsese was the executive producer of this, and I understand he was going to originally direct this movie, and I have to really believe that he may have produced a different result. I mean, who knows? But I also know that the movie itself faced lots of setbacks. The director has said that they had to rush production and they had to leave out. Yeah,
that the money dried up and they weren't able to finish shooting everything they needed to shoot.
And I feel I can certainly feel that part and understand it afterwards, thinking, okay, well that explains a little bit, but still, it's still that.
But why can't you at least give some sense of when something is shot in the present and give you some kind of gel lens to put it in the past? The whole thing just is baffling how this even got released into the theaters. I mean, it really is something that should have just gone straight to video if it was going to get released at all.
Michael Fassbender, I just feel, because he was good in it.
Yeah, the performances, they had great actors and actresses.
J.K. Simmons was good as normal, but he kind of stood, because he was trying to talk with a Norwegian accent, and it was kind of bad. I mean, because they're all supposed to be, obviously,
right.
And the performances themselves they weren't bad. I mean, they certainly weren't. If anything, you could tell Michael you could tell he was into this role, and he definitely was putting in a good performance. And it's just too bad that he doesn't have a movie to kind of match that performance.
Yeah.
And that's too bad. Maybe one day we'll get there won't be a director's cut because he never shot that stuff. It's too bad. I mean, really, this is a bad movie, and it's one of those films where you're watching it halfway through and you're just thinking, I can't believe how bad this is, and you try to find something redeeming about it. And for me, the only time I'm thinking is, man, Norway's cold, and I would love to visit there one day, but I'm not going to go there in the wintertime. But it's like, well, that's not why we go watch movies. We want to, be entertained, and it's too bad, because I think maybe, if anything, maybe the story really is good. I mean, the idea and premises is pretty interesting. The serial killer is the device that he uses to dismember his victim is pretty damn.
Yeah, there's
cool.
a good idea that's in there, and it had all the right talent. But anyway, I don't know that there's any need to say any more about it, other than it's a mess. It's unfortunate. It had all the right ingredients, but this may be the worst film of the year.
Yeah. And we still have some more, Is Josh Trank making a movie yet? Oh boy.
Okay. That's our thoughts on the Snowman, and thank you for watching Slice of SciFi.
See you.